you are at least back into this room. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our next speaker. Once you guys settle in a little. Okay, great, thank you. So I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Wendy White. She has been Domestic Marketing Specialist for the Colorado Department of Agriculture for more than 9 years. She is a graduate of Colorado State University with the Bachelor of Science in Animal Science, and also a graduate of the University of Colorado in Colorado Springs with an MBA emphasizing marketing. Her primary responsibility with the Colorado Department of Agriculture is managing the Colorado Proud program. And Wendy is going to describe the Colorado Proud program in detail to us today, and she's also going to provide us with resources on how to access sustainable Colorado agriculture products and obviously then local Colorado products. So please welcome Wendy.
Good morning. Is everybody back and ready to go for the next session here? I just really want to thank Alex for inviting me to come speak to you today. I'm going to talk a little bit about Colorado agriculture, and then, as she said, Colorado Proud. How many of you are, you have an ag background? You were born or raised on a farm? Yeah, a few of you? Okay, good. The first thing I'm going to do is show a short video on Colorado agriculture, and it was actually developed to share with schools across the state, to educate school children about ag in the state. So I apologize if it's a little rudimentary, but I thought it was a nice overview of some of the items that we grow, raise, and process here in Colorado. So we're going to start off with that. Do we have our sound?
When people first think of Colorado, they might picture the majestic Rocky Mountains and wintertime fun on skis and snowboards. You might be surprised to know that the foundation of the state is agriculture. That's right. Almost half of the state is covered by about 30,000 farms and ranches. The first pioneers in the state made use of our good soils and sunny climate to feed themselves and many others. That trend continues to this day. Stores throughout the state and region are filled with the bounty of our agricultural production. Agriculture generates almost $16 billion for Colorado's economy annually. Farms and ranches have been a huge part of Colorado for a long, long time. That's not to say agriculture is old-fashioned and outdated, not by a long shot. Colorado's farms and ranches are producing more food for the world than ever before. This video will highlight some of those agricultural success stories. We'll show products grown and processed across the state. First, we'll look at some of the plants growing under the Colorado sun. Then, we'll check out livestock roaming through Colorado fields and barns. Along the way, we'll look at some of the ways we celebrate agriculture in the state. So it's Colorado agriculture, feeding the world. Stay tuned. A natural crop to find under the abundant Colorado sun is the sunflower. Sunflowers grow especially well in our state. By late summer, the blossoms start to droop with the weight of seed. That seed is then harvested and used for snacks or processed into cooking oil. Our state's 300 days of sunshine each year make Colorado a great place for greenhouses. These are important for products that need strong sunlight and warm temperatures all year long. Throughout the state, many vegetables, flowers, and other specialty crops are grown in greenhouses. In fact, Colorado has more acres of tomatoes under glass than any other state. These end up in grocery stores across the country 12 months out of the year. In other greenhouses, growers satisfy the increasing demand for cut flowers and nursery plants. New varieties are introduced every year. They wind up adding beauty to homes across the region. As more people move to Colorado, this market seems to have no limits. Turf grass. Now here's another crop that's marketed to the state's growing population. New homes need new grass. That sod comes from the many turf farms located just outside of the state's urban areas. Our state's expanding population also fosters markets in completely new areas. Wine production has come to our state in a big way, especially near Grand Junction. In the abundant sunshine and rich soils of the Grand Valley, growers have found the perfect combination to produce excellent grapes. Each fall, the wine producers of the state meet in Palisade to share and sample the fruits of the vine. It's the Colorado Mountain Wine Fest, and here you'll find some impressive, locally produced wines. It's a great opportunity to show off some of that grown in Colorado pride. Also in the Grand Valley, you'll find acres and acres of peaches, pears, and apples. In the summer, when the trees give up their bounty, fruit stands pop up everywhere. There's no better place than the Grand Valley to enjoy tree-ripened fresh fruit.
I turn into a horse. I hate you.
To the south of the Grand Valley, you'll find the little town of Olathe. On one August weekend each year, the town's population explodes. It's the Olathe Sweet Corn Festival. The fields in this part of the western slope produce a variety of sweet corn unrivaled in flavor. Truckloads of Olathe sweet arrive at the festival and are roasted or boiled to perfection. Thousands come from across the region to dig in and get messy.
Ready? Yeah. Get set. Eat.
Think you can eat a lot of corn on the cob? This is the place to test your skills. What Olathe is to sweet corn, Rocky Ford is to melon. Some of the best melons in the world are found along the Arkansas River Valley in southeast Colorado. Every summer, the farmers in the valley get together to celebrate the harvest. Visitors come from all over the area to test their watermelon seed and spitting skills. If that's not your style, just hang out for the free watermelon giveaway. No one leaves empty-handed, or clean for that matter. Some other crops in Colorado have quietly grown to national prominence. The state ranks third in dry edible bean production, fifth in potatoes produced, and sixth in storage onions. We grow enough lettuce to rank third nationally, and enough spinach to rank fifth. The state's winter wheat crop ranked fifth nationally, and our production of barley has helped Colorado become the largest beer-producing state in the nation. Colorado has been a leader in the growing organic agriculture industry. Nationally, the state ranks in the top 5 for organic acreage in vegetable and fruit production, organic pasture, and grains. Finally, sugar beets have been a staple of Colorado agriculture for well over a century. Currently, the state produces nearly 1 million tons of sugar beets each year. Did the sugar on your cereal come from Colorado sugar beets? You may never know. We mentioned corn already with the Olathe Sweet Corn Festival. There's much more to it than that. Across the state, corn is an important crop for livestock feed. Nearly 150 million bushels of field corn help feed the 2.5 million head of cattle that are marketed each year. Some corn is also processed into many other products, like tortillas and chips. Hay is another important crop. It's also used to feed the state's livestock. Which brings us to our next section, Colorado livestock. First up, the heavyweights of the Colorado ag scene. Cattle are the largest contributor to the state's agricultural economy, over $2.5 billion at last count. The state's vast open spaces allow for many scenes like this one. Seems like right out of the Old West, doesn't it? Colorado and cattle ranches just seem to go together. Cattle raised or fed here end up being